one that I record from or that I share with you. But I found that for some reason when I don't have a monitor hooked up, it seems like my PT4 the windows aren't weird anymore.
Oh yeah,
So I can actually like see everything when I open Windows on PT4.
awesome.
Yeah, and I found a new. I discovered a new tool last night that I stayed up really late messing around with it, and I constructed BB defend ranges.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cool. What tool was it?
Equilab, Poker Strategy Equilab,
Yeah.
and it has one feature that is I thought was really cool that a lot of other I don't know if any other ones have, but it allows you to set a range, and then you can set like you can give a range, then you can say like a percent equity that you want to have against it. So you can say like I want to have at least 35% equity against this range, and it'll give you the range that you can play with that has at least that much equity.
Huh. That's interesting.
Which is kind of perfect for BB defense.
Yeah, I don't know how we choose like what equity we want though versus like his opening range.
Um, well, I mean, one way is that you can say like if button opens, if button min raises, and you're in the VB, you only need like what is I don't know like 28% or something. Um, so you could give a range that button is opening and say like you're going to defend with any two cards that has at least 30% equity.
Okay.
Um, but what I did is I set it up so that like I made the assumption that we are only ever going to assume we're only ever going to realize 70% of the equity that we are 75% of the equity that we have.
Okay.
So I did it that way so that because from the BB you're out of position and you're not always going to realize all your equity.
Cool.
So that's how I did it to set up
Oh,
the
you
ranges.
can do like percentage of equity realized. I didn't know you could do that. Or you just subtract it
Well,
or something.
so let's say like let's say the button opens to a size where you only need 30% equity, or let's say four, just to make it easier. Let's say you need 32% equity to break even.
Okay.
You can do the math, so you can discount that and say like, well, I'm only going to realize 70%, 75% of my equity. So then you end up really needing 40% of your equity, 40% equity to flatten the big blind.
Yeah, I see.
So you just add that into the calculation to account for that.
I mean, it's a nice step. It's just whether 75 is the correct number or not. It's pretty important. Whether it's 75 or 50
Yeah,
or 80 or 90 or how that changes at different stack depths versus different opponents. And
yeah, exactly. It's 75. I think is a little bit on the conservative side. Like I think a lot of times you could have that number be higher, like 80, 85, 90. Um, I don't think it's much lower than 75 very often.
um,
But
a student of mine was calculating big blind defends using PIO solver.
really,
And
I didn't know you could do that.
yeah, it was pretty cool. So he'd give like UTG an opening range, and then it calculates the runouts on like your equity on like the 93, 95 most like common type of flops,
Oh, that's cool.
and shows you what hands are best. And apparently, like those 95 hands like represent like a big. It's like a pretty like what's the right word?
Representative of
Yeah, representative.
all the flops,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But yeah, you gotta pay like 250 for the PIO.
Yeah, it's pricey.
Yeah, PIO is like Terminator. It's gonna ruin the poker world. It's gonna
Yeah,
destroy the games.
the games are dead. I think I think tournaments is the only thing that's not going to be dead, like for a long time.
Yeah, so it'll be hard to figure out the MTTs, but RLIs are gonna go down and just be trickier. Um, so anyways, you have a multiplicity of options today.
All right.
I give you options, not dictatorial. Dictatorial in my coaching. Very nice.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm a great guy.
Options are good.
So option one is like 12 to 20 big blind, range construction, working on that, get into some geeky number shit. Um, Option numero dos is, I don't even know if this is an option, but going over a deep Bovada run and looking at ICM spots, I think would cover 12 to 20 big blinds pretty well. And option number three, I guess, is just if that doesn't work, another deep run, perhaps on ACR, 12 to 20 big, like final table type of run, where you have like 12 to 20 bigs. And we could look at some like ICM 12 to 20 big blind play, kind of mix it up.
Okay. I think that I would like to do the range construction stuff.
Okay. Such a
That's
geek.
not, that's something I've been kind of struggling to do on my own.
Okay.
So that'd probably be the most helpful. And yeah, I've been geeking out lately.
Cool. Your fellow geek. I like you. So yeah, do you want to do like small blind spot or you want to do a button spot? Those are your two choices.
I think small blind.
Alright, you're a fish. Let's do it.
All right. So what do you want me to open?
I don't know. Let's find like a small blind spot and start from there. Be easier to like visualize, I suppose.
Mommy?
Throw this away. Throw it out in the garbage. Thank you.
It's weird.
Ouch, minions. Ouch. Sorry for the background noise. Standard part of the coaching.
Yep, it's the signature.
Yes.
Okay, small blind, 12 to 20. We have 100 hands here.
Alright, yeah, just pick a fucking hand.
I'm just gonna say replay all.
Good. It's a wise choice, my friend.
Ooh.
Oh, so how's the poker's been past 2 days?
Last night was losing. I had like 4 or 5. I had like I think 4 min caches. Played a lot of turbos and just didn't win flips and ended up min caching. And then the night before that I didn't play.
How was your 12 to 20 big blind game?
I feel like it's been a lot better. I mean, one thing that I've just been cutting out is the flats off, like flats with bad hands or flats with hands that I should be shoving.
Yeah.
And sometimes folding.
Okay.
So just doing that, I think, has helped a lot.
Coolio.
So this one's kind of interesting because there's a limp, and on Bovada that happens a lot.
Yeah. I just limp here a lot. I don't know about you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would too. I would shove a pretty wide range, but with Jack 8, I think I would prefer a limp.
Yeah.
But even with a hand like Ace Deuce offsuit, I would be pretty likely to shove. Somewhat depending on how often this guy's limped already. I can see he's got a 13% limp, and he has limped 5 of 40, so if I have Ace Deuce off here, probably my default is to just shove.
Yeah, my default's flat, but shove could be good.
Yeah.
So do you want to go over these type of spots? Like, let's do some range construction, right? Just assuming he folds around, right?
If this guy had folded. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just doing range construction, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So you've been struggling with constructing ranges for these spots, right?
Well, this one, I mean, yes, I guess, yeah. I mean, like 15 bigs and 20 bigs more so, but even this one's about 12, and yeah.
All right, so let me see you try and do this on your own. For, I don't know, I guess you have 12 and a half bigs, so let me see you try and do this and see where you're struggling, and we'll try and help you work it out so you can learn how to do it on your own.
Okay, so the thing is, I have constructed a range that I'm pretty happy with for 12 bigs.
Okay, so you want to do 15?
But well, the range I constructed is no limping. It's all raise, folding, or shoving for 12 bigs.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know if that's fine.
Let's do a 15 big blind one, and then we'll go back to 12 and like add some limping if we figure out like 15 big blinds. So just assume you have 15. Like you could just visualize that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
This is 15 bigs actually, so that's perfect.
Oops. Okay.
Or go back to that hand. No, I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
And we have another limp.
Yeah, just
Okay.
assume they fold. Use your imagination.
Got it.
So yeah, let's see you try and construct the range here.
Okay. How do I want to do that?
Alright, step one, start with the easiest step.
So I think the easiest thing is to just figure out what I'm shoving.
Yep.
And let's see. I don't know if this is the best way to do it in this equity calculator on here. Probably Flopzilla would be easier to follow along with.
Best way to do it is just hold'em resources. That way we get the equities of all the different hands too. Like gives us the most amount of information in like the fastest possible way.
Okay. That doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Put small blind in the hand.
Oh, whoops. There we go.
Okay. And there's antes. Yep. We good.
And then 15 bigs, I guess 2.3. It's a decent sizing.
We just want to start with what you can shove, right? You're
Yeah.
doing both at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then found a way to make it a lot faster by making everyone else fold.
Oh, you the man.
So now that's it.
World class hold'em resource player. So your shove range is 53%. That's it.
Wait, this is the what it starts out with giving us, which is pretty weird, but
Where's your shove range?
right here.
38% is the Nash shove range.
When you allow, I allowed 2.3ing or shoving, and I also allowed. Oh wait a minute, no, that's his reshove range. This is our shove range, 53.8, 53.3.
Okay, and this is how many big blinds you make shoving each hand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go from here? What do we do with this info?
Well, what I would normally do here is I would adjust our opponent's calling range when we shove
Yeah,
to be more realistic.
for sure.
So it's probably so. Actually, I'll just do what my process would be here to set up a range. So first thing I would do is edit this to be more accurate to what he's actually going to be really calling with. I mean, when I say he, what I mean is the field. Oops.
No one ever calls like 10-9 suited and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta take all that off too.
I'm not as confident as you are with the threes and deuces and ace X though.
With you're not as confident with what?
That they fold like ace deuce to ace five and threes and deuces.
Really? Okay.
But I don't know, maybe you've done more work on it, but I wouldn't say they fold that 100% of the time.
Yeah, I need to do some weighting. I don't think they call. I think deuces and threes is pretty rare, but
It's hard to know.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
I think like I can take this off.
Okay,
Maybe like this.
that's close enough. We're like nitpicking at this point, so it's fine.
And then the other thing I need to do is set up his flatting and shoving ranges when I 2.3 exit. So this is like pretty wacky looking.
Yeah.
I do think that all pairs are likely to shove if I.
Alright, let's just skip the step first and let's just look at what you can shove really quick.
Okay.
I'm doing this just to like, I think it simplifies the whole process. Okay, so your shoving range is any two here, which makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go from here? Without going into that whole raising and calling and shoving thing, which before we add like all that extra complexity, where do we go from here? What can we take from here?
I can like pick some hands that I think would be better as a raise call or a raise fold.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me would be like aces through 10 or aces through maybe eights, ace 10 suited plus ace jack off plus
Okay.
maybe king queen suited, but
Whatever. Splitting hairs. Go ahead.
yeah.
Okay.
And then some of these bottom hands that have less than half a big blind of equity could probably be raise folds.
Sounds good to me. So now just construct your. Now what do you do?
Well, what I would normally do if I was doing this on my own is what I just started to do here with these.
Well, what I want you to do is construct your actual raise fold range, and then see what your opponent can do versus it. And you're basing your raising range on the top and those bottom hands.
Okay.
So the reason I'm like reversing the order here is I think it just makes it simpler to plug in your strategy and try and create a good one right off the bat and see how well you do.
Okay.
Because I think we could just take the principle of like raising the top and the bottom and shoving the middle, and it just makes the whole process much easier. And I think you're jamming the queen jack suited king jacks. You said you were only raise calling ace jack plus ace 10 suited plus.
Yeah, I kind of changed my mind, but
You want to raise call Queen Jack suited?
Yeah, I want to raise call all these. And then
Can you raise call Queen Jack suited? Like, do you have enough equity?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
That might be better as a shove, but we should find that out by doing this. Something like maybe that.
Okay, so I'm fine with the hands you like doing that. I think it just makes sense to just do it more logically by picking shittier hands, or I don't know, like put it in a way where you can actually use it in game. The problem with this is like now you have to remember these specific hands, whereas if like you were just like doing the nut low hands for sure, like it would be much easier. But you kind of have like the spot where you're folding the nut low hands, and then um,
Well, I kind of thought these were the not low hands that I just picked.
oh, okay. So you think like three deuce, four deuce, five deuce are like better?
Not three deuce, but like five deuce. I think is better than six deuce off. 5-3. Yeah, I think five deuce has more equity than six deuce, but maybe I'm wrong.
Are probably pretty damn fucking close.
Yeah.
You're like splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's more important to just make it a logical type of way that you can use in game rather than like splitting like half a percent or 1% equity type things.
Well, I think that if I do that's like really easy to remember. It's 7 through 10, deuce through 4, offsuit.
All right, if you think that's easy to remember, go for it.
I think that's actually easier than like doing the not low hands.
Okay, whatever works for you. Like what will work for me doesn't necessarily work for you. But yeah, just that's fine.
Okay. That means that this is what you could show. Actually, I think I need to update this. Yeah. Okay. Weird.
He can only shove 10? What?
That's so weird. Look what it's having him shove.
That's really awkward.
Yeah. It's because I allowed the flat too. I was trying to make it more accurate to where, because he's going to be flatting a lot when we 2.3 it. So I wanted to allow this flat so that it would allow him to realize his equity with his hands that they would flat.
Yeah, but it's assuming he realizes like 100% equity or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the problem. And yeah, so it's like if it's a better flat in Hold'em Resources' opinion, it's not going to put him in the 3-bet shove range, right?
Yeah, apparently that's what it's doing. Yeah.
Can we just take off the flats or something?
Yeah. I think that's pretty easy to do.
Allow flat calls. No.
Or you know what? I think I'm going to cancel that because I'll have to reset up all the ranges again. But if I just go in here and if I just manually set his flatting range to 0, that should do the same thing.
Hopefully.
And then if I run it again, that'll make him only be able to shove. Yeah, see, now it's 48%.
Okay, and a lot of these hands are like super low EV. Probably
Yeah.
better as slats. Yeah, so what do we think? How much of these hands you could actually jam, in your opinion? Like a tenth of a big blind doesn't seem like worth taking.
How many would he actually jam?
How many should he actually jam?
Oh, a lot of these he should not jam. Like, I mean, all of these.
Yeah, Jack 3, Jack 4, 9-5 suited, 8-5 suited is probably a better flat.
Yeah. 9-6. Um. Yeah, I guess you could shove. I mean, that, something like that.
Yeah, so you could shove about 40.
Yeah.
What? Okay, so where do we go from there?
Um. Oops. I don't want to. I don't want to lock that range. Sorry. I don't really know where to go from here. Like this is where I kind of do all that, and then I'm not sure where to go next.
Okay, why? Like, what questions do you have, or like, what are you unsure of? What's
Um. I guess basically. Um. Okay. I can see if I go to my open shoves. That looks fine. That I can shove all that stuff.
hmm
Most of it has pretty good equity, except for these few hands here that aren't my raised fold.
hmm
Um, that looks like it makes sense and it's fine. And also my raised fold range here looks pretty good. I mean, I'm even making like as you can see, this is actually kind of cool to see that my raised folds here make about double as a raised fold what they do as a open shove.
Yep.
So that makes sense, and that seems like good hands to have in the raised fold range.
Okay.
Um, the hands that I'm raised calling, I'm pretty sure those are all making more money than if I open shove them.
Yeah.
If I go to the open shove, yep, looks like they all are.
hmm
So, I mean, everything looks good here. I don't really see anything that. Oh, wait a minute. The Queen Jack suited. Oops. Uh, the Queen Jack suited makes more too, it looks like, as a raise call. So that looks good. Yeah, so like everything that I would be looking for seems like it's there. Like my ranges make sense in this spot.
Okay.
And I don't really see like anything that needs to be changed, I guess.
Okay. So let's do that whole flipping the position trick. If you're in the big blind's position, do you think like being able to jam 40% here means your opponent's like if you're in the big blind's position, you know you could rip 40% versus them, like 6-4 suited, 5-4 suited, 10-9 off. Do you feel like your opponent's playing a really bad strategy, or do you think that's pretty balanced, or what do you think?
Um, yeah, I actually do. It does seem like if I can rip this wide a range versus my open, it does seem like that's pretty easy to play against, or like I don't know if easy is the right word, but
Like you feel like you'd be profiting quite a bit.
yeah, I do.
Okay, so then you feel like that's something you should probably tweak then, and tweak your raising range then. So he can't do that.
Okay, that makes sense. So first of all, one thing that I kind of noticed here is it seems like we may have too many raised folds.
Okay.
Uh, we might be able to do away with like a third of them like this. Do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's run it.
that. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just run it like that. See what
Okay.
happens.
I was gonna say also we could maybe take away these two as well.
Yeah, sir. Sounds good to me.
That very significantly changes what you can shove. It cuts it down by a ton.
Yeah, that's why I told you to change it.
Yeah.
That's why I told you to run it super quick. So, like, obviously, if you're in the big blind, like, put yourself in the big blind shoes. And if you can't shove, like, ace 9 off versus, like, your opening range, like, you would just feel like this guy's opening way too tight, right?
Yeah, and I think that the thing that probably changed it the most is cutting down our raised folds by so much, right?
Yeah.
I
The thing
mean,
is, like, those are 12 combos each, in, like, a pretty tight range. So,
yeah.
so yeah. This has them 3-bet folding with 15 bigs? Like, the fuck?
No. This is what I call.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This is my raise call range. Um, so I think that
So you just tweak it again, because, like, obviously that's a bit too tight. It's
I
like
think I should still have I think I should still have these if I'm gonna raise.
Sure, I don't like Queen Jack suited particularly, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now run it.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of arbitrarily threw that in there, but I could get rid of it. So maybe like do something like this. I don't know.
Sure, now run it. So we tried 18, we tried 20, we tried 17, now we're trying 18.5. Okay, now we could rip like 30%, which is...
That seems like pretty, kind of a good number.
Yeah.
Seems pretty reasonable, and a lot of these are right on the edge. Some of these combos you can't really rip, like King 3 suited, Queen 7 suited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 10-9 suited shows a nice profit. Any pair is going to show a profit here. Ace-9 off is going to show a profit. So it's all hands that kind of make sense for him to rip, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, so what we did differently here is we just flipped the positions, put ourselves in the big blind shoes, and wanted to have like a range that's tough to play against. And it kind of simplified the problem. We were able to iteratively fix it. And now you have like a good raising range. So
yeah, cool.
The next thing is to test our shoving range, though.
Yeah.
Which is a bit tricky because he's deviating so far from Nash is the problem, but it should still be a pretty damn good shoving range given how poorly he's playing.
So we want to see what he can call versus our 81% shoving range.
I don't know. What should we see? Like, how do we test our shoving range? Like, I don't even know how to do that.
Well, I think that's a good starting point, just to run this and see, like, if I'm shoving literally any two cards that aren't in my raising range, I'm shoving. We could run that and see what he can do against that. So he can call 65%.
Yeah, we're super exploitable, obviously.
Yeah, and I think the reason for it is just we didn't put any folds in here. Yeah, we're playing 100% of cards.
Yeah.
So.
And he's just playing extremely poorly, basically.
Yeah.
So we're pretty happy with this.
I wouldn't mind exploring the idea of not playing 100%.
Well, what if he's playing well? That's the question. So if our opponent's playing well, clearly, like, our raising range is pretty good, but our shoving range is pretty awful, right?
Yeah, correct.
So how would we construct this versus, like, a stronger opponent?
So we would have to adjust our raise folding. We'd have to change our raising range because what I would do is add in some open folds.
Yeah.
And those hands that I would open fold would be these hands here that I'm currently raise folding.
Yeah.
So I would probably take out like all of these. I would probably just open fold all the deuce X offsuits except for the kings and aces.
Mm-hmm.
And then like do something like this. And then maybe something like that, and these would all be folds.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hands that are slightly better than the hands I'm folding, so like some of these hands here, I would put into my raise folding range.
Yep.
So I would fix that. And then I guess we can actually just run that real quick now before we adjust our raise folding range. But
yeah.
Still go 60%.
What was the Nash calling range? Do you remember? We're both playing Nash.
I don't remember.
I think it was like 35 or 40 or something.
Sounds right. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So this is still, you can still just call too much.
Yep.
For playing someone we could just be super exploitative against, it's probably fine, but again,
Yeah, so like your first range, the first range you did was like versus a really exploitable player, which kind of made things kind of weird right now. Because now we're like
yeah.
switching versus like a balanced player. We probably should have done like the balanced version first, and then like the
Yeah.
exploitable version second.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
So I think we need to still fold more hands.
Yep, go ahead.
So. Um, let's see. Something like that.
Sure, got it.
Kind of feel like I maybe am taking away too many offsuit combos without taking away any suited cards, but
Well, the suited ones are better jams, so
56%.
yeah.
So now I still want to take some more away,
Mm-hmm.
but now I think I can start taking some of the worst suiteds away now.
If you say so, sure.
I don't really know if it's better to. I don't know if it's better to just take away like the Deuce X suiteds now, or if it's still better to just keep taking away some of these bad offsuit combos, some of the worst offsuit combos.
It's easy to figure out, and like if we ran like a separate simulation with ICMizer or in Hold'em Resources and seeing the EV of each.
Okay.
Just find like the highest EV. Hold on.
Oh, actually, I can just do that right here. I can just kind of look at these.
Okay.
And these suited cards still have better EV. Even the worst suited cards have better EV than like the Queen 4, Queen 5, Jack X, all these really.
Yeah.
So we should still be taking these away.
Yep. You might want to slide it to the left to make it simpler for you. So you can see the EVs.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Queen 6 stay. Queen 5 should stay instead of Jack 7.
Yeah, I think you have to go to suited now because the suited ones are -1 big.
Oh, I was reading that wrong. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 6-4 off, 7-5 off need to go. Those are like -1. 5-4, 4-3 are both -1.5. Basically, just take off all the shit that's like -1.
Yeah. So that's like basically all these.
9-3, 8-3.
7 through 9 suited.
6-4 off, 5-4 off, 4-3 off, 7-5 off.
Let's try that.
Sure.
Well, the problem is. Okay. The problem is those are going to come out. That's not a problem. Never mind. It's fine. Some of those that I just took away, I'm going to end up putting in my raised soul range, which is fine.
Yep. Okay, so you could call about 49.3. Hold on, let me find the balance point for us really quick.
Okay.
So you want to compare this to like what he can do if you're both playing Nash.
I can run that. I can find that on here too if you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. If that's faster. Hold on. I think I'll get it quicker than you can.
Yeah, probably.
Calculate Nash.
Oh, got it.
You beat me?
I beat you.
You fucker.
40%. You're right.
Oh, I was right. So yeah, maybe you want to get him around like 40 with your shoving range. I'll be right back. I have to pee.
Okay.
Yo, yo.
Yo.
Alright, so what we got?
Okay, so I just took off a bunch more combos of hands.
Yep.
46.
Yeah. Get out. Get out! Go! Ash, get her. Bye. Alright. Yeah, you're gonna have to go down a little bit more. So, yeah.
Let's try that.
How much did you go down? What percentage did you go down?
Like 2.
Yeah, like do bigger
Yeah.
changes, so it's not as like incremental.
I mean, how close to 40 do we want to get? I mean, I think that having it a bit higher might be better for us. I mean, it if we're trying to play against like someone who's playing Nash, then or someone who's gonna just call us perfectly, then we should probably fold more of them. But
I mean, even like Nash is kind of wrong too, because it never accounts for like dollar EV. Like you should always call tighter than Nash, and everyone calls tighter than Nash. So this range is
Yeah.
probably pretty good. So
yeah,
now you,
like I don't really want to go too much. I'm already open folding a lot.
yeah. So now you have a good shoving range where he basically has to call Nash. So we're happy with our shoving range, but now we have to alter our small blind raising range.
Yes, so we need to.
So a little trick here is like we're fine with the ratio, the 18.6%, the bluff to value ratio. We just need different hands.
So we just need to find 10 different combos of raise folds.
Yeah, exactly. Or
I mean, 10 different, 10
Oh.
times 16
yeah,
combos.
10 times 12, 120 combos. And yeah, just find like your prettiest hands that you're folding, basically.
Yeah. So the thing that really annoys me here is that I can't look at my.
Oh, you can't like put them together.
I can't look at. Yeah, I can't see what I'm shoving while I'm working on this. I mean, hang on.
Pull up the shoving range and then visualize it kind of quickly. Oh, you're gonna do a Gayazo. Kiyazo.
Gazzo that shit.
You're such a pro.
I still don't know how I'm going to look at it, though, at the same time.
Just make the screen smaller. Put it to the side, I guess.
Well, how many combos did we say we needed?
Like 120 or like 10 offsuit.
10 offsuit? Okay, so that would be 160, right?
10 offsuit's 120. Because only 12 for the offsuit and then 4 for the suited.
Oh, right. Yeah, gotcha. So 120. So let's just. I was thinking maybe we could just pick them now and then move over. So I think picking suited ones is like makes it a little more time consuming, but they actually have higher equities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the higher equity matters that much since we're raised folding though. Blockers to shoving would matter more, but we don't really have any blockers to shoves.
Queen X and Jack X kind of help, I guess.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we could just say all Queen and Jack X.
Yeah, works for me. Let's see what happens.
And then like 3, 4 suited and 3 deuce, because that's not quite enough combos.
We said 10 offsuit, so yeah, that works.
That would be 9. Queen and jacks would be all. That'd be 9. Okay.
Okay. Train.
Was it queen 6, jack 7? 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Then like a few suited, I guess.
And then I think these were folds.
One more. I mean, just do the 4 deuce just for like simplicity.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I don't think it matters too much when it's a raise fold.
Yeah. And so yeah, you should be able to shove like the same percentage if we were to run it. Yep. Okay, so yeah, I mean, now we have 2 pretty good ranges, right?
Yeah. I just wanted to look at our equities here. Yeah.
Make 1 big blind raising those. It's pretty sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
Yeah, so those are our ranges versus like a tough opponent, and obviously we can fix it out. So yeah, what are the principles you can take away from this? Because that's important. So like all our work is to like deepen our understanding. Rather than just memorize the spot, I want you to like be able to deepen your understanding of constructing these ranges. What can you take away from this?
Well, I guess I kind of, as we were doing this, it kind of occurred to me like a good process to doing this would be to, I mean, we look at the Nash push fold, what it can call with, what our villain can call with, and then construct our jamming range to be close to that so that he can't call way too much or it doesn't have to fold way too much when we open shove.
Yep.
And then from there, we want to construct a raise folding range that is somewhat balanced, and again that our opponent can shove a pretty reasonable range against. Not too much, not too tight, not too wide.
Yeah.
And then kind of just look at the overall picture, which for me would be like what our equities are with each of these raised folds and making sure that they make sense compared to shoving them. Like I don't think that shoving 8s makes more sense than raise calling it based on what we've looked at.
So, yeah, I think the method you have for doing it is perfect. And it's pretty simple. And the last thing is just the hand you raise fold should just be like default type of things based on what you're jamming, you know? Based on what you can jam, rather than like trying to do it in the other order, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And one thing I thought was pretty cool is we're still playing 68% of hands, which is pretty good. When we started removing a bunch of hands from our open shoves, I was getting a little bit concerned that we would be open folding too much, but
yeah,
I think this is actually really good.
Yeah, it's good. So let's see if you can do this all on your own for 18 big blind spot versus a competent opponent.
All right, sounds good. We only use push fold. I mean, we never let them flat here, right?
No.
So when I do this next one, I'll turn that off.
Coolio. Do not allow.
And I'll use the same raise sizing, just keep it a little simpler. At some point, I would think maybe 2.4ing is better. Maybe 18 is that point, but. And then I'm just running this one to see what Nash looks like.
Good. Very good.
Okay, so 34.4 is his Nash calling range when we can only play push fold.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to be somewhere around there with our shoving range.
Yeah.
Um,
Probably fine with him calling like 39.
it's funny that the default solution here only has us open shoving these these three combos of hands, these three hands.
Yeah. Silliness.
So ridiculous.
Computers are dumb, man.
They really are.
Yep.
Okay. Start with this. See how this looks.
Perfect. Sounds good.
36.7. Sounds pretty good to me.
Yep. Pretty good.
It's 34, so if he can call slightly wider than Nash, that's actually good.
Alright, let's move on to our raising range.
Okay, so I know what hands raise calling. 9's plus, ace 10 suited, king jack suited, ace jack off. So now I need to figure out. Well, first I'll set those, and I'll see what percent it is, so I can get an idea for how many raise folds we should have.
Good.
I think this was the range.
Yep.
7%, so we probably want about 4% of 4 or 5% of raise folds.
Let's try it.
And then, but first I have to go back and look to see what hands I want to put in there for my raise folds. I think I can go with Queen Deuce through Queen 7 off, and Jack 7 through Jack 4 off.
I don't think you're ripping Jack 8 off, so I think you could throw Jack 8 off.
Oh, yeah. So all queens and then Jack 8 through Jack 6.
I would take like just suited jacks instead of like the Jack 8 through Jack 6, but go ahead. Like Jack Deuce, Jack 3, Jack 4, I'd rather have than Jack 6 off, I think.
But I'm shoving those right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm
No
retarded.
problem.
Just do what you're doing.
So.
I will shut up.
So like that.
Okay, so you're raising 7% value and 8% bluffs.
Oh, whoops. I don't want that many bluffs. I might want to have a little bit more value, but we'll see. I just want to try it with all queens. I think I have too many bluffs right now, but.
Let's see.
Oh, I also have to set up my calling range. Don't want to call Queen 7 off ever. Okay. Damn it.
Happened.
He can shove 10%. That seems way too tight.
Why do you think your prediction was like so far off?
I assumed that because the effective stacks went up,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to raise call tighter. But maybe I went too far with that.
I mean, why do you think he could jam? Like, I think you expected him to be able to jam quite wide versus your range.
Yeah,
Why do you
I
think it's
did.
so tight?
Um,
Where do you think you went wrong there?
I don't think I have enough value combos. Or no, I don't have enough raised folds. Maybe.
Why do you think like you were so far off? Because if I told you to guess how wide he could shove, you probably was at 30-40%.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know why I'm so far off.
Your ratio is pretty similar to like the other spot, isn't it?
What?
Your bluff to value ratio is pretty similar in the 15.
I thought so. I thought it was. Yeah.
It is similar, but the spot has changed. What has
Yeah.
changed?
Just the effective stack.
The effective stack has changed, and your call range has gotten stronger too.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So the stronger your raise call range is, the more bluffs you can have.
This is like really exploitable too because all of our well, I guess not. I don't know. Let's just say because we're just raise folding all queens. That seems kind of exploitable, but. I'm not sure how I want to adjust this. Yeah, didn't change much at all.
Why do you think it didn't change much?
I didn't change my raising range much.
And also, did those hands go in your raise call range too? The hands you added?
Oh.
I think they did.
No, not. Oh, no, I'm not calling those. Am I? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it didn't change much, and you expected it to change a lot. Why? Why do you think? Why did that happen?
I didn't really expect it to change a lot that time.
Then why'd you do it?
I wanted to see how much just adding a few more combos would change it, but I didn't expect that it would be a lot. Let's just try this.
Think you're ripping Jack 8?
No, Jack 9's a lot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
There we go.
So yeah, you could rip about 35, but minus the bottom.
Yeah. And then one thing that I wanted to see is keeping the same bluffing, same raise fold range, but then get rid of these.
Sure.
And now you can kind of shove too much.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
So I would rather have like maybe that.
Okay.
It's a little too far, so maybe I keep Jack 4 off. Perfect. I think that's pretty good, 30%.
Yeah, it's really like 25. Yep.
So I think that the thing I didn't realize is how much more our value to bluff ratio should change because of effective stats.
Yep.
I didn't think going up by 3 bigs would change it that much.
But it does, yeah.
But it changes it a lot.
Yep, so, so you constructed 2 pretty good ranges. I think you could tweak the hands that you're raise folding and maybe put in prettier ones, but it's...
I gotta put these back in to my shoving range too.
Oh, yeah.
What were you saying about making prettier ones?
I think you could put in better raise folding hands, but other than that, your 2 ranges are pretty good. And you were able to do this in like 5 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. Yeah, that's like I kind of want to go back real quick and look at my. I think hand number 2. I think that was the 15 big blind spot we did. Yep, looks like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to look at our value to bluff ratio compared between these two. I mean, it's like way different.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's way different, right?
Yeah.
You're calling 9.5, you were calling, and raising 18.6. The spot you're raise folding, calling.
So we're raising 18.6, calling 9.5. Yeah, so half.
Half. And then what's the other spot?
Raising 17.6, calling 8.6.
So you're
that's... Wait, there's something wacky going on with that.
Oh, Jack 8 off is in your call range. Okay, you should be able to shove like tighter now.
Yeah, I don't know why. He can shove about 1% more.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, now you're raise folding like 55-60% of the time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess it didn't change that much. It just seemed like more than it was.
Yeah. But yeah, it changes by like 5-10% or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, you should be able to construct ranges on your own much easier now and going forward.
Yeah, I guess the next thing would be limping, and I really have trouble with doing that in Hold'em resources.
Yeah, let's get to the point where you can do this raising thing like pretty easy, like do a few sims, and then like you can get to limping.
Okay.
Because yeah, that's just like such an extra layer of complexity. I want you to kind of master this before moving on.
Okay, sounds good.
But yeah, I think you'll be able to kind of fly through these small blind spots much easier. Button's going to be a bit trickier, but I think you'll be able to do that too. So yeah, finish out your small blind spots, do some button spots, and we could add limping next time.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, so let's just quickly like summarize some of the principles here. I think principle 1 is just like the spot became a lot easier when you just put yourself in your opponent's shoes and think about like what would you like being able to shove 45% versus him, that you think that's bad and exploitable or whatever,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Changing the point of view made it easier. I guess number 2 is just like starting with like the easiest part, figuring out what you could shove and comparing that to Nash. It's like a very nice like fundamental starting point.
Yeah, I think that having that target, like having that Nash target to try to reach to get close to with my shoving range helped me speed that up a lot.
Yeah, we're starting with like a really solid fundamental base to work from. That's why it's just so simple, and you can apply that anywhere for lots of spots. Like having a solid fundamental base when you're trying to tackle any problem in poker and in life is like a nice place to start from.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's another thing you could take going in. I mean, it's a lot harder for other spots, but starting with what you know is to be true and what's easy and simple, and then building from that makes decisions way easier.
Cool. Yeah. It's definitely helpful.
So yeah, I think you should be able to plug these away pretty easily.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, so an interesting thing when you're doing button spots is like seeing collectively how wide they can both rip on you, like what percentage of the time they could rip on you, and comparing that to like how often you need them to fold to like auto profit. So like if you're raising on the button, they can collectively shove like 70% of the time on you. like your steals are just going to be really ineffective, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So making sure that number's not too high or too low is pretty important. And yeah, we'll call that a session.
All right.
Um,
Sounds good.
yeah, so I guess we'll need to discuss whether to perhaps we'll just do like a Henderson review of like 12 to 20 bigs, late game type stuff. Um, yeah, I'd like to do some kind of Henderson review next time.
Yeah, sounds good. That'll be Tuesday, so maybe I'll try to get, if I get any final tables before then, I'll try to save the payout structures, so we can actually have the ICM numbers to look at for some spots.
Yeah, and if you could is there a way to get a Bovada Henderson with all the hands face up? So that'd be awesome.
I One thing I could probably do is like you can just get the hands from Bovada.
Yeah, try and
and
do that, and maybe send it to me, and I could pull it in my thingy, or maybe you don't need to. Maybe you could just do it on your side.
yeah, I would have to send it to you. I don't have any way to. I don't think I really have any way